Hello guys and welcome to another trading week. Last week was an interesting one. As you can see, price played out just as we expected. Now in this new week that we're about to step into, we're going to be giving you guys a top-down analysis on what you can expect. Alright, so last week this was what we told you we're expecting for price to come into this first zone, especially the second zone. Like I said last week, I said especially this one. I said this first one will most likely fail, which it did, and then price will come into this zone and then most likely give us our dump from there. And as you can see, price just pushed up, came into that zone, and then gave us the dump that we needed. Now if you watch the analysis, then you probably would have tried to capitalize on this sell-off. Now, but what's going to happen in this new week? Are we still going to keep selling, or is price going to push upwards? That's what we want to find out. So make sure you watch this video to the end, and don't forget to subscribe, as we're going to be giving you guys a breakdown, a top-down analysis on what we're going to be looking out for. So first of all, let's delete all of this. Alright, so we're going to extend this first before we go to the higher time frame. So let's start from the monthly. Let's see what the monthly is looking like. So guys, looking at the monthly, we can clearly see that gold is still pointing to the downside, even though we are seeing this pull up, this push up, right, as price is trying to retest some key levels before it continues its drop, right, because gold is still pointing downward. It's not, it hasn't really, I don't think it has resumed this bullishness yet. So let's go to the weekly, and also don't forget this month is going to be closing in this new week that we're stepping into. So this week is a critical week, is a key week for us, so it's one that you need to be very careful with. So let's go to the weekly. Now looking at the weekly, we can clearly see that gold is still pointing to the downside. This week closed with a green candle. All right, it pushed up and then began to reject downwards, right? So what can we expect in this new week? The only level we can still keep here in mind is this 50% monthly fib level that we already have marked out right there, which is 4258 level. Price hasn't yet tapped into that zone yet, so there's a chance that price will most likely still push up again into close to this zone. It might not reach this zone, right, but it might push up again and probably try to take liquidity from this current week that just closed. So this level right here is a level that we need to take into consideration. Let me mark that out. So just mark that out there. So that's a week. Price will most likely push up there to take liquidity from right there. All right, so another level we can also take into consideration is this one we already have marked right there. So we're going to extend this level, which is the WR2. So we're going to leave that right there. All right, so let's go to the daily. Let's see what the daily is looking like. Now looking at the daily, we can see things now. We can see now that price has been consolidating, moving sideways for some time now. If you draw this box right here, you see that price has been moving within this box. All right, so there is a chance for us to see price continue this trend next week, seeing that next week is the last week for the month and the way price has presented. So there are two things that could either happen. Is either we see price try to push up a bit and then start to drop. Okay, we could see that happen, but I'm not sure. What we could most likely see is we'll see price just consolidate within this range for some time before trying to now take liquidity and then drop in finally. So I think that's something I think that could happen. All right, so but let's just continue to look at the charts. Let's see what things are looking like. Let's go to the 4-hour, right? Let's see what the 4-hour is looking like. Now looking at the 4-hour, so we can see that this is a consolidation, right? So like I said, it's still the same thing that one could expect. We could expect price to move within this box. All right, we could expect price to move within this box for some time, but at the end of the day, I'm expecting that price will come up to take liquidity somewhere around here, and once price does that, we could now start seeing another sell-off. All right, so that's a possibility. If price doesn't respect that zone, then we might see price push up into this other zone right here and then begin to drop from this other zone now. So one of these two zones is what we're going to be looking out for. All right, and apart from these two scenarios, we could also see prices dump and then continue its dump from there. But overall, I'm expecting price to push up to take liquidity and then begin to give us the drop. I know this is a lot of scenarios that we've presented to you, about 3 scenarios. Okay, so but I'm expecting this particular one to happen, price to go up to 4160 level, take liquidity, and then give us the drop. If that doesn't happen, we see price break lower, then it means that we have to just continue looking for our sell-offs from somewhere around 4000. Alright guys, so that's just what I'm seeing. I think there's nothing much to say, so price is currently within this range. So let's see how it goes, guys. Do hope you have a wonderful trading week. Bye.